Hey guys, this is Jeff here at Runnergy, and today we're going to be going over 9 tips for beginner runners, including one extra bonus one that I'm going to throw in here somewhere in the mix. So make sure you stick around for the whole video and get that one as well. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to break this down into 3 different sections. The first one is your long run. Let's break that down into 3 different types of long runs, okay? So try to do your long runs, but 3 different kinds. The first one is going to be what we call a long but slow distance, or what I like is like you're building long distance runs. So like say you've never done 7 miles before. You're going to do the first type, this long run, as slow as you need to get that 7 miles in. So if you need to walk, crawl, whatever you need to do to get that 7 miles in. So just go as slow as possible. This should be somewhere in that 60 to 69% of your maximum heart rate if you're using a heart rate monitor, okay? The second type of run, long distance run, is just your kind of standard long run, which is typically in your 70 to 79%. And this is just kind of your comfortable pace, and you're cruising through that 7 mile run or whatever distance that you're building up to, that you're adding into your training, okay? So the third kind of long distance run is a progressive long distance run. And this, you kind of start off in that 60 to 69%, like say maybe the first half. And then the second half, you're going to kind of build up into that higher level of like 70 to 79% of your max. Okay, so it's a progressive build up in that long run. Maybe negative splits in there, which means you kind of start off at a slower pace and then pick up towards the end of the run. Let's recap on that. Long distance runs, 3 types. The long but slow, where you're just building a new mileage to you, like say you did 7 miles, now you want to get up to like say 9 mile runs. Again, you're going to start from scratch. Whatever you need to do to get that 9 miles in, but just get that 9 miles in. If you have to walk, whatever it is. The second time you do it, you're going to kind of try to do it where you do it a little bit faster, but hopefully you're more comfortable at it and you get that 9 miles in more comfortably. And then third time would be where it's progressive. You start off easier and you kind of build up the pace during that 9 mile run. All right, so that's 3 tips for building up your mileage. Okay, the second section here of my tips for beginner runners is to break your workouts into 3 sections, okay? First section is that warm-up. One of the tips that I like to do for my warm-up is I'll do something called squat walking. Yes, what I'll do is I'll go down into a squat and I'll walk for either 5 seconds to 15 seconds. Okay, and then I get up, I shake my legs out and shake it all out, and then repeat that 2 more times. So that's squat walking for my warm-up. That's a part of my warm-up. But that will really warm me up. Trust me, you try it. Squat down, walk for 5 seconds, get back up, repeat it again, and build it up to like where you do 15 seconds. It's a pretty good little warm-up. Legs will be pretty warmed up after that. The second thing is in your core part of your workout, like your general run part of your workout, always make sure you're always focusing on your running form and technique. All right, so all my training is based around form and technique. So after you did that warm up and you get into your core workout, that core workout should all be focused on your running form and technique. Don't ever break your form and technique while you're in the middle of your core workout, okay? So that's the middle part of your workout. Third tip is on your cool down or towards the end of your workout. Say you did, your 7 mile run, right? Add 1 more mile of walking. So when you finish the 7 miles, chill for a minute or 2, and then add a half a mile out and a half a mile back of just easy walking. Sounds questionable, right? But when you do that 20 miler for that marathon and you go out afterwards a few minutes later and just do like a half a mile out and a half a mile back, you can now say you did 21 miles instead of 20. And trust me, there's a really good sound to like doing 21 instead of 20. Gets you over that 20 mile hump, okay? So those are my tips for during a core, like your main workout, okay? All right, we're moving on here. We'll keep going. All right, now we're into the third section of this, and this is any kind of workout that's outside of the scope of actually running. So you'll be doing something type of workout, but not running. And this, we're going to start off with that bonus tip, and that is cross training. A lot of people seem to like bicycling for cross training. My experience, and most of the people I know who bicycle to cross train for running, is usually a disaster, okay? Think about it. What do you do when you're biking? You're sitting. You're sitting in this kind of crunched in position, which is not ideal for running, okay? It's going to tighten up your hips. It's going to stretch out your back. I just don't typically find biking to be a great cross trainer. Now, if you enjoy biking, go ahead, rock and roll, okay? But my tip for cross training is swimming, or what I do is elliptical because I don't like to swim, or even the row. And I know you might say, hey, well, rowing is sitting as well, but rowing, you pulling and keeping your back straight, which is not similar to what you're doing on a bike. So my tip for cross training, activity aside from the running, would be swimming, elliptical, or the row, which I think all three of those really do help with especially your upper body posture. Okay, so that's my bonus tip. Okay, so now continuing with the outside of the scope of running workouts, which is like your gym workout, my tips there is to make sure you're adding some kind of weights or resistance training. You can do plyometric training. You can do stuff like push-ups, pull-ups. If you don't have access to weights in gym or something, you can do that. So some kind of weight or resistance training that helps with your posture would be ideal, okay? Number 2 is stretching, which include static stretching, dynamic stretching, and foam rolling. Now, or myofascia release, which is foam rolling. I almost tell everybody to do the 2 particular types of stretches or myofascia, which is foam rolling your calf muscles and also hip extension, specifically hip extension stretches, okay, not contractual stretches, okay, or stretches. So that's my tip on stretching, which is foam rolling the calves and some kind of hip extension stretches, okay? Those will really help with keeping your flushing out stuff out of your calves, which helps with ankle mobility, and then also the hip extension is really important since most people sit a lot. This will kind of offset that tightness in the hip area. Okay, we are at number 10 out of all these tips, including the bonus one. My last one that's in the gym or outside of the running is meditation. So a lot of running is mental, and it's good to exercise this muscle as well. So I do recommend 3 to 5 days a week of 3 minutes or so of some kind of meditation, breathing exercises and stuff. So there you go. There's my tips, all 10, including the bonus. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on moving. It's very important to move, because if you're not moving, well, then you're very still. You're not moving. You're like stuck. Anyway, see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.